going to talk about Spring JDBC, Spring Boot JDBC. Yesterday I talked about little bit about it. Today let's do it in detail. So in order to connect with database, we have different technique, right? I'm going to talk about what different techniques we have. Hmm? Krishna, what I'm teaching you, man?
Uh,
Krishna,
yeah, you are teaching us about the different techniques to connect to database.
very nice, right? Very nice, very nice. So today I'm in mood to make the diagram. This is my database, right? Hey, Krishna, what is a database? Database is a software which can store your data in the form of table, right? Columns.
Yes, sir.
So first technique to communicate with database is JDBC. What is JDBC?
Web
JDBC
database
stands for
linking.
Java Database Connectivity. It
Uh,
allows programmer to communicate with
database.
database. But in this problem is you have to write a lot of code. You remember what code I'm talking about? You have to write a lot of code on that. Remember class.forName,
Yes, sir. The
prepared
controller.
statement, right? A lot of code you have to write. That problem is, right? So somebody says, I hate JDBC. Why? Because every time you have to load the driver, every time you have to make the connection, every time you have to write the query, every time you have to make the prepare statement, every time you have to make the result set and iterate it and then populate it to that list and all, right? That's problem is. Second approach is Spring JDBC, which I was teaching you yesterday, right? So Spring JDBC benefit is Spring JDBC says don't write code to load the driver, make connection, right? Connection management, transaction management. You know what I'm saying? Exception handling. Don't do all that. Oh my God, who'll do it? Spring JDBC. So in Spring JDBC, what you have to write? You have to just write the query and you have to provide the data against the query. Clear? Oh man, in this, what is the benefit? Krishna.
Yes, sir.
In this, what is the benefit? You should not bother about connection management. You should not bother about the exception handling, right? You should not bother about the iterating the result set and all. Who will take care of it?
Spring
Spring
JDBC.
JDBC. So which seems to be more easier for the programmer? Plain
Uh,
JDBC or
Spring
Spring
JDBC.
JDBC? Okay. So on top of it, later developers started to say, hey, I don't want to write the query. Oh my God. So if you don't want to write the query, if you only you want to provide the data, are you following me?
Yes, sir.
But that is called ORM. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. What man?
Object
Object
relational mapping.
Relational Mapping tool. Oh, nice. What it does, it can directly map your data into database. You are not supposed to write any query and all, right? You have to just open the session, right?
Mhm.
Do the transaction demarcation, right? Little bit you have to do, right? But in this, query is auto generated. Say yes.
Yes, sir.
Query is auto. Oh my God, which seems to be more simpler.
Uh, sir, ORM, sir.
ORM, right? And ORM, another benefit is your application will be not depend on any database. Same application which you are using for MySQL, tomorrow you want to make it for Oracle, you can easily do it. Oh, nice. So which seems to be very powerful, man.
I think
ORM,
ORM, sir.
right?
Yeah.
And Hibernate is an example of ORM tool, Hibernate. So we'll talk on that, right? And in Hibernate, there is many benefit, man. First benefit is queries auto-generated and your application will not having any dependency on database, right? And you know what about table? That is called, schema.
Uh-huh.
Schema, right? You don't need to create the table and all. Oh my God, who will do this? Hibernate, right? Database, you should not bother about. Table, you should not bother about, right? Writing complex query, primary key generation, everything will be taken care by whom?
Mm. Hibernate? No, sir. ORM.
Hibernate, ORM tool. Okay, but you tell me, guys, in this, you are writing little bit query or not? That's my question. We write little bit query, right? Method, session management, right? Transaction management. We have to do little bit, right? Down the line, people are saying, I don't want to write any query and all. I don't want to write any piece of code, right? for JDBC. Oh my God, you don't want to do anything? No. So another thing came in the picture that is called JPA plus Spring Data. You got a point? What I'm saying is,
Yes, sir.
I'm just talking about, give me.
Sorry, sir. I think you are on mute, sir.
Yeah. I so the latter thing is important. What man?
GPA plus.
Yeah, JPA plus Spring Data. I'll let you know, right? Spring. This is the most easiest thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I can explain you in the layman terminology. This is JDBC means you are going on foot, right? Spring JDBC is bicycle. This is car, and this is aeroplane. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, so you want to go with which option? The option
Yes,
where you
sir.
are not supposed to write any line of code. That is Spring Data JPA. So guys, I'm not going to go directly on the technology. I will teach you one by one. So first thing you have learned in GSP solid station, what you have learned? Plain JDBC. Remember or you forget it?
Yes, sir.
This thing we have learned where?
JDBC.
In GSP solid station, right? Today I'm
Mhm.
going to talk about Spring JDBC. Agree?
Yes,
Then I
sir.
will teach you Spring Data GPA. Anybody have any question, query, guys? Anything which I explained to you and you are not able to understand? Rojina and all. Today I'm not in hurry, okay? I'm in mood to teach you very well. Let's do that. Rojina, I'm not getting any reply from you. Say yes. Yeah, we want to hear you. Simple, right? No, no, you people should talk a lot with me here and there. Now again, yesterday I was in one of the restaurant and we ate very nice food over there. You people can talk like this. I like that. Okay? No?
Yes, sir.
Why I feel sometime like you guys are really very boring and
No,
you
sir,
never
we
laugh.
aren't
You
boring,
always
sir.
be sad like this. Hmm? No?
No, sir, no.
Okay. Okay. So now, if you want to use, Spring JDBC, right? So what we have to do? But I want to use with Spring Boot, right? So there is many way of doing it. So first thing which you have to do is, right? Yesterday I was doing it as well. Let me come to the code. So first thing is, who will explain to me? First thing is you have to add a jar in the pom.xml file. Which jar? You have to add this jar. This is responsible for Spring JDBC with Spring Boot. Krishna, this is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
First step, what you have to do in first step?
We have to add
You have to
dependency.
add this jar, right? So Spring Boot benefit is Spring Boot work on opinionated approach. If opinionated means once you add the jar, automatically it will create service for you. You know service
Mhm.
functionality, right? So Spring Boot automatically will create services for you. How? The moment when you add jar, right? And your question is in Spring Boot, right? How it you supply the input to it, right? So in order to supply input to the Spring Boot, you have to use application.property file. Second step is in application.property file, you have to add all these dependencies. Yesterday I was stuck. Sujal, say yes. Yesterday I stuck for some
Yep.
time because of I was not adding the driver name because by default Spring Boot uses Hakari and Hakari uses driver MySQL database 8 by default, right? That was the mistake, right? So hey, when you do it, to connect with database, we need connection. Krishna, to connect with database, you need connection or not? Connection
So
object.
we need connection, yeah.
So in earlier JDBC programming, plain JDBC, connection was created by whom? Programmer. Manually you are creating, make it
Mhm.
right? Class dot for name,
So create
driver
connection,
manager
yeah.
dot get connection. Who were doing all those boring stuff?
Programmer, sir. Us.
Programmer. Now Spring Boot says, if you follow my technique, I will do all those things for you. How? Because Spring Boot says you just go add this dependency in the pom.xml file and just do this configuration. I will create an a bean of what? Automatically, I will create a bean of what? Data source, right? And data source is nothing. It's just what, man? It is just abstraction for the connection. So data source represent what? Krishna. This bean
It's
is created by whom?
been
Spring Boot framework. Spring Boot framework creates
been.
bean of it, and this data source as a bean object, right? It creates connection. Got my point? Done. Oh my god, if I want to use data source, what I need to do? You have to just add dependency in the pom.xml file, then just do this configuration where you can mention the URL, username, password, and driver class name for your MySQL connection. And so this data source I can auto wire over here. People, a this data source is created by programmer or is it created by Spring Boot?
It's created by Spring Boot, sir.
Boot, right? Now, if you want to fire the query, you need a connection on it, right? So Spring says make the object of JDBC template, right? If you want, I can show you. You can make a JDBC template as a bean. Allow me. You want to make it as a bean, or you want to do it with new operator? Any guess? I want to do it as a bean. Allow me. Shall I do that?
Yes, sir.
If you want to make a bean of it, you can use this class. Sleeping people, just get up. Earlier you mugged the thing, but today it is time to
Wake up.
understand.
Yeah.
I'm telling you today, if you don't understand, I'll curse you, right? If you don't understand today, you cannot understand through your entire life. Fine. And ask questions. If you are confident, then you can ask questions, right? Why I'm just creating this configuration file? Any guess, guys? This Java based configuration will create a bean of what? Tell me. It will create a bean of JDBC template. So you need this data source over there, Krishna. Auto wire your data source over here. And if you want to create a what? Bean of Krishna, I'm talking with you.
Template, sir.
Jdbc template, right? And this kind of concept you are going to use throughout your life in the Spring, right? And here you can write a method. Method name could be anything. Create Krishna. Krishna, I'm using your name. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Are you happy?
Yes, sir. I'm very happy, sir.
Okay. And here you can make a bean of JDBC template, but you are creating a new object and you pass data source in it, right? But you want to use it as a bean, Krishna. Then here you can use which annotation? At bean. At
Been.
bean means you are saying, hey method, when you'd be called, give me an object of JDBC template using data source, but I am treating you as a bean. You got it or confused?
Yes,
No.
sir.
So now what is the benefit of it? This bean you can auto wire in the controller now. Oh, nice. So I'm not supposed to you make any bean of JDBC template manually. Now it is done by Spring container. Krishna,
Yes,
got
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
So using this JDBC template, what I can do, man,
It
I can
create.
fire my query. Hey Krishna, like
Yes, sir.
here I'm creating manually, right? Now here you can use this JDBC template and you can update it. My job is done. Anybody have any question query so far? The here problem is nobody is replying. I hate you people.
So I am replying.
Ritesh, tell me, really you understand this much or you got confused? Mr. Ritesh,
Yeah, and I understood, sir.
can you come close to mic first?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Do you understand this much?
Yes, sir.
Just be honest. What about other people? Sujal, what about you?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Where is I forget the name. Are Cubico IT, big batch, sitting all together and eating a lot of food. Can you come in the picture, please? I'm not getting response. Cubico IT, my dear crowd, not replying. People reply.
Yes, sir.
It's like you are very far from the mic. Yeah, tell me, who is this? Hello. See, when I said who is this, she got angry and she muted. Rogina, Kibuko IT people, I'm not getting any reply from you. What you guys are doing? Kibuko IT people, I'm calling you. Rogina, you are not in the class.
Oh, we're in the class.
I am.
So why they do? Rogina, you are sitting with them.
No.
So
Oh,
Kibuko IT in the group, please reply. I just wanted to know whatever I have done. Do you really understand? Tell me what is the JDBC template? What it does? JDBC template is one of the feature provided by Spring JDBC, which makes your job easy when you are writing especially query. You can see when you are want to push your record, you are just writing your query over here, and you are just collecting your data as a form of the array of the object. And using this line, you are able to save your data in database. Rogina, you got this much?
Yeah, I got it.
Really? Yeah. Now what I want to do, uh, after saving it, right? You want to show all this data on the presentation layer or not? Tell me. Once all the data has been saved, where you want to show it? Rogina, what I said? This data, right? When you save it, you want to show it on the UI. Rogina, it's clear to you my agenda? What I'm going to teach you next is?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I'm telling you guys, just be ready to answer my question. I'll mute, I'll just stop the session and ask questions, okay, soon. So let me tell you right now how much we have done. I'm going to run it. If you run it, this is simple. Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application is the important annotation for Spring Boot, and it is comprises another annotation. It comprises Spring Boot configuration, right? Enable auto configuration, component scan. This was one of the most frequently asked interview questions. What is the Spring Boot and application annotation is, right? So Spring Boot annotation is comprises other annotation, component scan, auto enable auto configuration, and Spring Boot configuration. Make sense? Makes sense. So basically, let me run it, okay? And I don't know what other people are doing still. I'm running it, and my application is running on which port number? Who will help me? Port number is? You're not
888.
replying.
Did it?
888. Very good. Very good. So if you want to access it, what you have to do, here you can type localhost 888. So my dear friend, uh, you know what you want to do. Here I want to put a button, and when you click on the button, I want to show all the data. Rogina, you understand, right? So I would go to my JSP, login.jsp, and I want to put a button over here. What button? Rogina. Button would be
Sign up.
customers, right? And you can change the color of it. You can make it, warning, right? You just want to give different color to it. And here you can write what signups, or you can write customers. Rogina, help me. So when you hit the URL pattern, right? Customers, right? In href, it is by default get. You can map it over here. Rogina, you got it? What I'm mapping? When somebody clicks on this customer, right? So what you want to do? Rogina, help me. You want to do what? You want to show all the customer. Am I right?
Yes.
Say yes. You want to show all the customers. So see, first of all, you will fetch data from database, right? First of all, you will fetch all the data from database. Rogina, what would be your query? And this kind of job already I have done in your name project. I don't know where your name is. No, this is your name. I have done all this thing in some JSP solid project. If you remember, people reply, what would be your query? Any guess? Hmm, people, people.
It's all from that table.
My project, it was taken
Select
around
star
27.
from table name.
Aha, I like it. So let's write the query, okay? Query would be, can you help me? This code I'm doing copy paste, right? See my style. But here you want to go to which page? Rojina, you want to go to the customers.jsp. After it. This name and this name may be confusing, right? So here you can write C customers, right? No problem. But in the URL, what you have to map? Rojina, can you help me? What change you have to do? Here you have to write C customer. When you click on it, your call will go to this, right? So what would be your query? Can you help me? My query would be select. Somebody says what? Star. But I'm writing the column name, sir. CID name, email, salary, created date, create date. Name, email, salary, create date. Name, email. No, sorry. Can you help me? Salary, create date. From which table you want to fetch? This table. Query is clear to everybody? Here I'm interested to fetch all the data. We need something in the where class. Answer is no. You know it, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Here what you can do is here for fetching the data, here you can use query. What? Only query parameter, right? And here you can write your query and you want whatever data will come. It will return me list of what? List of customers. So here you can use new bean property row mapper. What man? Bean property row mapper. What it does, whatever data will come in the row, it is going to map bean property row mapper. Oh, Mr. After that, you would say one row I'm going to put into one object of the customer type, and eventually it will return what? This is clear to you, or shall I explain you more about it? Hmm? My friends, what I said.
I
It
think it's clear,
it
but can you explain the property row mapper again? Bean property row
property
mapper?
row mapper.
Yeah.
Actually, when let me show you in the diagram. Actually, I know it's not clear, but other people are silent. I don't know. Today I'm going to talk after this because this way thing will not work, right? This is my data,
Yeah.
and this data is this one. So dear, how your bean property row mapper works, right? But Sujal, when you fire this query, right, all data will
Yeah.
come in the memory as a result set. So bean property row mapper will do what? It will take one row of it, right? It will take one row of it and populate this data into one customer object. You got a point? In
Yeah.
customer, CID will go to the CID attribute of the customer. Name will go to the name attribute of it. Email, right? So
So is
second
it
row,
something like copy bean util?
yeah. It does internally. Bean
Right.
row property row mapper will iterate all the results set. It will take one row and one row data will go into one customer object. Second row data will go into second customer. Third row data will go into third customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, all the object will be added into the list and returned back to you, right?
Yeah.
So row mapper is doing great job for you, right? And this list you can add into what object, man? Customer data attribute, which is already written, right? So where you can map customer data attribute. Same way in GSP Solid, I told you. I told you in the earlier, if you know GSP Solid, you know everything, right? So here, what you can do is, I don't know why this error is coming. I change it. I don't know. It's not balance. I think it's salary. It's okay with you? My job is done. So, sir, my dear friends, if you run your program and you hit this URL pattern, right? So what it will return? It will go and fetch all the customer data over here, right? And
Yeah.
eventually you are adding it to the request scope, and finally you can go to the JSP, and this already I explained to you. This is JSP scriptlet tag, okay? And from the request scope, I am fetching my data. This attribute and the attribute which you have given in the model must be same. Okay? So can you do
Yes.
that, guys, if you allow to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a question.
Please.
So line number 30, are we returning string or are we returning
No,
list?
here we have to return always the name of the next JSP page because data
Okay,
already have added into, you may be returning object in case of REST API, right? You mugged it.
right.
You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
when you have to return object, when you have to return the string, when you have to return other thing, right? That's
Mm,
why I'm telling you.
okay,
This is the session. Here you have to learn the fundamental. You should know if you are, eating chapati, why you are eating it, right? That's purpose.
okay.
Fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it and allow me. And in this project is very small. If you understand each and everything, it would be very, sorry people, I'm not feeling well. So let's run it again. Okay. Or whatever changes you are doing, it is automatically reflecting. Refresh it, and when you click on it, can you see this? All the data is coming from where? Hello? All this data is coming from database. Yes or no? So do you know the flow or shall I explain you? But here data is coming because of Spring JDBC where you are writing minimal code. Rojina, I'm just asking with you. This is clear to you? Because you guys are not saying anything. It means it's clear, right? Okay. Krishna, what about you?
Sir.
Okay. Now I'm going to perform a delete operation. And this is last for today. Okay. For delete operation, already we have anchor tag, right? So I don't know why it's not working. Because why it's not working, sir? It is date, right? And the column which we have in database, that is created date. So you can just use alias name. Can you see this? I said, hey, column, I just want to rename as a date, right? So that date will come. If you want to delete your record, right? So which action you will call? Krishna, you are calling which action? Delete customer. And you are passing customer ID as a parameter. So how you can map in the Spring, right? In normal way, for everything you are making new servlet, right? But here everything you are doing inside one controller. Controller means it is just model. So you can map over here, right? Get mapping. And here CID you are passing as a part of
Parameter.
query parameter. So you can use request param annotation to read that value. And you can map with some variable CID, right? Like this. Got it or confused? No. So when you are sending this as a part of query string, am I right? You are right. When you are sending it as a part of query string, you can read it with the help of request param, and this you can bind with the method parameter, right? So what you need to do here? Any guess? First of all, you write delete. Am I correct?
Yes.
From table, and where CID equals to
Mm.
hmm, and you can set the value here. You can use placeholder also. I'm just setting it directly. My job is done, right? After that, what you want to do after deleting the data, right? If you want to delete the data, what you can use over here? Any guess? I can use Jdbc template, right? And method is uh, update method, and here you can write your SQL query. So all the data is deleted. Am I right? So once, sorry, not all the data. The customer record, which CID is this. After that, where you want to go? Oh man, after that, can I call this method to show my all the data?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to call this URL pattern, right? So basically, I'm not going to the GSP. I can use redirect keyword and slash. For what purpose? When you use redirect, right, it is not going to return C customer.jsp. No, 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 no. What it will do? Redirect means you are saying call this action. What man? Call this action. Action means redirect means you are saying, hey, this is not my GSP. This is the name of my action. Call this action. When you call this action, it will go to the database, bring all the remaining record and add into the request scope with this attribute and forward your call to the customer.jsp again. Hey, you got this much or you got confused? People. Hello? I said you got this much or you got confused?
Yes, sir.
I
We
got it. It's pretty much after you deleting, you just
Okay.
show the all to customers.
Yeah, this is just JSP solid session revision, right? And if you want to delete the record, I just want to delete you, Ashish Kumar, right? This 9. Can you see this?
Yes.
It's working, right? And same concept I have done in GSP solid. So guys, you can only learn it when you make your hand dirty. I don't know when you are going to make your hand dirty. Please go and do it. So I'm able to complete showing all the record and delete record. And only the thing which is left is edit, right? So you just tell me you want to do it right now or first you want to try this program. Basically, I want you should repeat this program for I have done for it, right? But what I want to do is in my login, please allow me connect with database. So when you do login, right? Rogina, what you want to do? When you want to do login, you don't want to rely on Jack and Jill. What you want to do?
Connect with
Whatever username password is coming in database, we have username password. I don't know. Like here, we don't have password, right? So let's check only email. Allow me. So even though password will be always Jill, but you can just make your username email ID. Ready? How you can do that?
yes.
So here you can write the query. Okay. Select query. You see my style. So when somebody log in, I'm going to write the query. Okay. Select, right? Select all the data from customer where, I guess, where email equals to question mark, right? So see, question mark means I said, hey, this placeholder data I'll supply to you. After that, here you can use method. You want to check data is there or not, one record, right? So here you can use query for object or you can use query method itself, not a problem. Query method, right? Query method. And what you can do here, you can say, here you can write your query, SQL query. And here you can write your, or you can use count star also, right? Count star means if the record comes or not. Are you following me? But I'm just want to fetch the data. So another syntax is you can use bean property row mapper. Property row mapper. Got it? And here you can use, any guess? Tell me. Customer, right? Same way. But here you have to pass one more parameter. What, man? You
Email.
have to pass email. Email means username, right? You are saying my username is email. Makes sense to you? But here you have to use this funda. We always pass it as a array. What? Second parameter would be always array of object, right? So it's saying it is deprecated, but that's fine. Not a problem. Okay. So here it will return what, man? List of customer. Tell me if user is there, how many record would be there?
One.
Normally one, right? It is up to you. So in list, what I said, in list, if data is coming, why is saying it's deprecated? It's all about syntax, okay? It's saying parameterized it, but still this is deprecated. There may be a better way to do it, okay? Not a problem. We can check that. Make sense? So, A, you want to just check, right? This size would be greater than 1. Yeah, greater than 0, I'm sorry. And password is Jill. Then you want to go to which page? Success page, right? Otherwise, you want to go to login.jsp. It is clear to you? So whatever username you are passing is going in the database and fetching the customer. If customer size is greater than 0 and password is Jill, then you are saying success. My job is done. There is many way to do it, right? I'm telling you. If it is there, why you are not going to the other page? If username is password is same, your username password is correct. I want to go to which page? Hmm.
Success.
Success, or you want to go to some dashboard, right? Dashboard or landing page. So you can go to dashboard.jsp. And before going to add that, you can add your whole customer data, right? I want to send my whole data from my this model to my profile. Got it? See, in this normally for one username, email ID, there would be one record. Okay, I'm just taking a record present on the zeroth position, adding into the profile and going to the dashboard. So here you have to make a page. What page, man? Can you help me? I'm in hurry. I just want to make which page? Dashboard.jsp. So here you have to show it. What page you have to show? Reply. Dashboard, right? Customer dashboard. I don't know. You got it or you got confused? Hmm? People.
Got it.
After login, I want to go to the dashboard.jsp. Let's see. So here, if you do login and enter some valid username password, I'm just going to add this one, the couple, right? So as per our discussion, I don't know where I lost it. This one. My username is password should be Jill, right? We hard coded it. And click on the login button. Saying whatever URL we have added is not correct. Is it that? Dashboard. Spelling mistake? Hmm? Now should be fine. Hello? Can you see this?
Mhm.
Yeah. See, your profile, when you are coming back to this page, right? Your profile means your whole data like name, email, everything is in the request scope. This profile data you can access on your GSP page. How? Like here, you can mention, hi, this is called expression language. Dollar, calibrate open and close, and object dot name. So what it would say now, people. See, hi name, right? You confuse? And you can mention the email ID also. I don't know, you guys are confused or you are following me? Email, right? How this data is coming over here? Because when you are coming to dashboard, already you have added all the data into request scope against profile attribute. So in this way, you can display other attribute also. Make sense? Say yes. And here you can give the color of your choice, right? Whatever color and everything you want, you can give it, right? So here there is a concept of CSS. I don't know you know it or not. Otherwise, I'll teach you. Okay, man, I can teach you anything. Okay. So basically, my intention is you want to use inline CSS. Okay. Color you want to make it blue, and font weight you want to make it bold. So here you can make it bold like this. My job is done. I don't know you guys are following me or not. So I'm able to do this much. Okay, you can show all the customer, you can make the customer sign up, right? Uh, Login, everything is done. In next session, I will teach you other thing. So I don't know. This project is really long. There is many things altogether are the important. You have seen the use of @bin annotation, configuration, auto and we have annotation controller on it, right? So still I need to teach you other annotation, component, service, repository, and I have to clarify other things. Today we just talked about Spring JDBC with Spring Boot, and Spring Boot has many benefit. You must know what is the benefit of Spring Boot. And Spring Boot, I told you, this notation is made from other annotation like component scan is there, enable auto scanning, right? Spring Boot configuration. Are you following me? Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, component scan. We'll talk about more in next session. So guys, I think this is enough for this session. I would like to answer your question query. Please go ahead. I'm just keeping my session till here. For next questions, you can go ahead. Thank you so much for your time.